Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I hope I ain't too bad, but the bun is not coming off.
Nah, you good. You good. I ain't nobody tripping on that.
Good.
Cool. Well, do you have the book?
I have a Kindle version.
Cool. So you have read chapter two?
Yes, some of it.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So if you don't know how it works is basically I just came up with some questions and we talk about it. But the questions I got, they're not super specific to they are. They're picked from the chapter, but they're not like super specific.
Okay.
So we're just gonna give it like I'll see if anybody else gonna pop in by 5:47. That's one more minute. If not, we're gonna go ahead and get started. This ain't college, so
Okay.
yeah.
What made you pick this book?
What made me pick this book? My wife had the book, and it said "Sacred Woman," so it's like, why not learn about the woman a little bit more? A lot of people they'll ask about relationships and marriage, but I'm like, if you don't know that like it's deeper than the surface level, then you're doing yourself what a
Mm-hmm.
disservice by getting married or even in relationships with some of these people out here, man. So,
It starts with you as an individual.
oh yeah, and you never know whatever things may go wrong. We live in a times where health is very weird, so you never know
Yeah.
what can help you, help her or something. So,
So I'm very curious. This one I want to see other people too because I think I'm coming from this at a different lens.
mhm.
I was a little apprehensive about reading the book because I was nervous that it would have me doing weird stuff like, I don't know, worshiping a sky god or something, something crazy. Um, but then I do like, I want to blend, like, as a science teacher, my science mind, as well as where I stand, like, with Christianity. I was telling Portia about the chapter as I was reading it, and a lot of the stuff I could get and I could
Mhm.
understand, but I sort of kind of could remix it to, what I need, like building an altar. I said I wouldn't necessarily build an altar the way she
Right.
suggests, but I said it's nothing like having your own little prayer closet or your own meditation area where you read your Bible. So I'm open. I want to hear a lot of other insight because I think what's his name? He's your line. Is he your line brother?
Oh, Tay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he commented on something was like this book is up my alley. So and then is it Nadia? Not
Naja.
yeah. I think she was in the last meeting too.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I listened to the little YouTube that she did.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's a different take. It's kind of like how you said, you kind of look at it. You don't, I don't, how can I say this? I wouldn't go head over heels, but I would learn and,
Yeah.
pick and it's all about your understanding. So, well, we gave everybody an extra minute, so they didn't come. Uh,
Okay.
they may still pop in, but so we're gonna get started. The first question is, for what you've read, are there any similarities used in the altar setup that stick out to you?
Similarities to what?
So I'll just go through the altar setup. So the altar setup for the woman is a baptism bowl, a ankh for eternal life, white or blue
Okay.
candle, a feather, flowers, or plants. Does any of those stick out to you? Like as far as
I mean, when I think of a baptism bowl, I think about a church altar because, the pool is up there. I don't recall a feather.
mm-hmm. it,
Um,
it was another anointing oils.
I've never seen oil sitting up there.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna tell you what stuck out to me. So the baptism bowl for one, for me growing
Mm-hmm.
up, very heavily Christian, Baptist, all that stuff. Baptism bowl is like, you see how I'm saying, like some of the stuff is working in conjunct to some of the same beliefs we have growing up. So the baptism bowl definitely stuck out to me. I'm like, okay. And then they use anointing oils. Now, it stuck out to me because I don't know if you've been to church and people been like, let me put some oil on you, boy.
Some of
And
that holy oil.
right. You smell the oil and it's like peanut oil and you're like, come on, fam. But
It's the oil.
they use anointing oils as well, but they use frankincense. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what stuck out to me as far as like the similarities to, the way I grew up religious.
Mm-hmm.
The feather, it wasn't too much. I don't
I
know.
was like, a feather? I don't know. I do recall like seeing candles
Mm-hmm.
and the flowers. But I think in my old church, like the church I grew up with, the flowers were just for decoration, not necessarily to have a meaning.
Were they though? I'll just
I'm thinking of the times, like I know for Christmas, they would
yeah.
decorate it with poinsettias.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was decorated. I don't know. I mean, I think for her, she's using it out as a symbol of the elements,
Mm-hmm.
water. When I think of spirit, I think of the cross. So maybe not the is it the ana, the ankh,
Mm-hmm.
the ankh. Um, but I would think of how you would have your cross or your crucifix up there.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Let's see. Then they had like sacred stones and stuff. But I mean, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really get no similarities. Um, they actually said food for the NTR and your ancestors was like corn, rice, and fruits. Um, I guess that could kind of be similar to like taking communion. So it's just that question was trying to see if things tied or you can see certain things. Um,
I think when I think of, I always imagine when I build my house that I want, my dream house, I will want a place. I was telling Portia, I want a place that's my place that I can go and pray. And um, like I imagine it to have pillows and just be some curtains and a lot of sunlight. But I was thinking about what would I want, because see, I guess my concern is being a Christian. I'm not sure if we can just build altars. So I don't even know if I could call them my altar, my prayer closet, pretty much.
mhm.
And what things would I have in there? So I wouldn't necessarily have a baptism bowl, but I definitely would have some crosses up in there. And that's probably
Cool.
it.
So next question we got is, do you agree that doing disservice to your body or womb is deserving of ridicule? So from that question, I'm asking more so, it was a snippet. She has, and I call myself a woman, but she was like, if I was doing myself, I despise myself. If I do bad by my body, then I'm doing the most to my womb and my body, then I can consider myself just as bad as a murderer, a thief, a liar, a betrayer, a demon. Do you agree that doing disservice to your body is puts you in like that realm?
Who wants to say that about themselves? I was looking at that. Um, Gosh, I could definitely see where she's coming from. But do you want to admit that? I
It's
mean, it definitely makes you think about how you treating yourself.
yeah,
Like, if I'm feeding myself nothing but processed foods and doing drugs, I'm essentially poisoning my body,
sure.
just like a murderer who would want to poison and kill somebody. If I'm giving myself a bunch of negative self-talk, I'm essentially tearing down my spirit, just like an adulterer, a
Yep.
bad friend or something would. So you definitely, I guess I would have to agree. I just don't want to agree.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like how you just put it, you made me even agree more. Like you said, if I'm putting the wrong things in me, yeah, I'm murdering myself.
Mm-hmm.
A thief, yeah, I'm taking my life away. And
Mm-hmm.
if I take my life away and somebody loves me, I don't know how it would affect my wife, my mama. Then I'm
Mm-hmm.
stealing from them. I'm killing them. I'm lying to myself. So
And I think what I like is how she uses womb. So when you think about Eve, like from her womb, we all came. And when you think about a mother, um, we talk about dad hurts, but mom hurts. So if that mom is not taking care of herself internally, that's going to be passed down to the child, whether it be emotional abuse or, you know, what they eat, or if they did drugs, that gets passed down to the child. I think as a Christian, if when you're reading the First Testament, women are not viewed as, I don't know, having a say. So when we think about anything womanly like a womb, something that's so important, that's pushed away in Christianity. It's not talked about, and we just call it ourselves. So if I'm feeding myself nothing but, I'm gonna say Real Housewives of Atlanta, something negative, that's
right.
going to essentially infect me. And because I'm a woman and I have a womb and I birth others, I'm infecting the next generation. So one thing I did appreciate is just the use of the word womb.
Mm. So that piggybacks into the next question, which is, what ways can you be of service to your body, and what would you change? So, what would you?
About me personally, definitely how I eat. And just the things internally that I have to work on.
Right.
That'll just make me a better woman. Like with social media and the comparison and not feeling like you're good enough, and just those kind of things
That's true.
mostly I think is what, because what happens is I'll put that anxiety on my future children, or that
Mm-hmm.
spirit of comparison on my future children, especially what I eat, because unfortunately in America it's hard to get good, decent, high quality food.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something.
So me personally, it was the biggest thing. I'm a big dog, but
Hmm.
it's like I gotta get right. I gotta feed my body more nutritious things. That's one thing I would change, and it is mindset. So as far as social media, I try to post less if it's not like nothing pertaining to like the whole Husky Jefe, the book club thing,
Hmm.
because like like you said, the negative consciousness is just, hey, it's a beast, and if it gets in,
Hmm.
like I was talking to a homeboy and we was just talking, and then you reference this person and you're like, they doing that. Then I was like, hey, bro, we can't be negative, bro. We can't be like that. Let them folks do them. But
Hmm.
in the social media world of judgment and that negative, man, it eats at your negative conscience. So I be like,
Hmm.
I'm good on all that. Cool. We moving along. Um, next question, have you ever taken a bath in Epsom or dead salt, and how'd you feel afterwards?
I mean, when I had a car wreck,
That's the
I
only
took a
time you
bath.
took a bath in Epsom salt?
Yeah. And that was like 8 years ago. I felt the same. It didn't help.
And then really, okay, that's weird. So me personally, I've taken, I guess when I was playing sports and stuff and young, my mama would make us take baths in like Epsom salt, but it was very relaxing to say the least. Um, Actually, I say one, not last year. So year before last, me and the wife, we went to Destin, Florida, and we did what is called a float spa.
I saw y'all's YouTube.
Yep, we did the float spa, and basically you was like, you floated because it was so much Epsom salt, but afterwards you feel kind of relaxed.
Me and Push are supposed to be going to Destin in July. I'm gonna have to text her and tell her that's where we gotta go.
Float Brothers. That's what it was called. Float
Oh,
Brothers.
let me write that down.
Mm-hmm.
Say it. Float Brothers.
Yep.
Okay.
So I know they was talking. Oh, excuse me. In the Gateway, she talks about like the spiritual bath, and she talks about like using salts and stuff, and it was like Epsom salt, and I was like, I done took an Epsom salt bath before, you know. And you can go and find, what is it, Dr. Teal's, because she also
Uh-huh.
says like add like an oil to it, which is like lavender, franken. But I'm like, they have a lavender Epsom salt. It's just like me piecing things together. I'm like, this is wild.
We already doing this stuff.
So, next question was, do you meditate or pray, and how often and when?
I do. I meditate and pray a lot. So I do start my morning off with prayer. Then and quarantining, I have started. I ain't got meditating down pat, but like if I can't sleep, I'll do a guided meditation, or if I'm feeling too anxious, I'll do a guided meditation. But like prayer, I start my morning off with it. If I start feeling kind of funny about certain things, I'll pray through the day. Depending on what my day is like. If I hear something, I pray a lot. I pray a lot. Just to put it blankly, like throughout the day, if I have a thought, I pray it.
I know me personally, I pray. How often? It's usually like a morning prayer, nighttime prayer. Do I meditate? I won't say I meditate too much. I have meditated before. I do find it peaceful to listen to like meditation music playlists on my iPhone, Apple
Mm-hmm.
Music. So I guess I could say I meditated before in bed, just like whatever. Like how you say you be up, and I be like, just shut up and go to sleep. Come. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the only time I really pull it out. But it is like a peaceful sleep, you know?
Man, some good sleep. I
Yeah.
think I normally fall asleep before the lady is finished telling me all the stuff to do. But I think when it came to praying, so I think my prayer life changed last year. Because me and old Kelvin was engaged, right?
Yeah.
And last year we broke up. And so that jumped me into just doing a lot of prayer. So I pray a lot, just rather than, I don't know, it's just like, I don't know, that was just the first thing I resorted to,
Mm-hmm.
prayer.
I know. What is what is it? Muslims? What they pray like 5 times a day? I don't want to be saying
Mm-hmm.
it wrong, but I was just, once again, we're looking at similarities in this.
Yeah.
She said it was a sunrise, midday, sunset, and nighttime. So there was like prayers for like different. So that's 4 times. So
Mm-hmm.
Muslim religion is putting in there one more time. So I was just trying to see how often we pray. I need to meditate more. Maybe that'll calm me down from like angry and negative things.
You should do some guided, like if you YouTube guided meditations for anger or guided meditations for stress. And so it's like the calm music, and then it's like a person just kind of telling you what to do. Like, imagine yourself floating on a cloud. It's very relaxing,
I'm
very.
trying.
Because one day
Guided
my brother
meditation.
came over and he was having like an anxiety attack out of nowhere. And I said, just lay on the floor. And I played my guided meditation for anxiety. And she just kind of started talking him through, what to do. Like, think about this. Think about where your legs are touching the floor, or imagine yourself on a cloud, or think a thought and then let that thought turn into a cloud and float out your mind and start a new thought. And so it calmed him down. He was like, send me that. Like, I gotta do this. So I think you should try it.
Hey, that's real. I'm gonna try it. All right. We only got 1, 2, 3, 4 more questions.
Okay.
This one is simple. It's, do you drink tea? And how do you like your tea?
I
How would
don't
you
like
drink tea?
tea.
You don't like tea at all?
I like that fake tea that's the powder with the lemon flavor, but I do not. I want to like tea so bad, but it's nasty.
Which teas are you just drinking like regular tea, just like the?
So the only tea that I know of is the tea we grew up with our mama making in the house.
Uh-huh.
And so because I know I don't like that, I just don't drink anything else.
Nah, you gotta try you some new tea. So I drink tea. I like hot
Okay.
tea, and I'm good enough to not. How do I like it? I don't really like it with honey. My wife does it with honey at times, but I don't really have to have honey or sweetener.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I get into teas? It was I can't do coffee. That's why I got into tea. So I can't do coffee at all because it makes me too jittery, like I'm on some crack or something. I'm not saying I ain't never been on crack or nothing, but nah. I've tried like different types of teas, and different type of teas are like flavorful and good. But then it like regulates you. It's like it's refreshing. So
I've heard people say, try some fruit teas. I've always been like, I'll go on the tea aisle and just look at all the teas and be like, man, this just seemed like such a grown up drink.
it ain't like even if let's say you got like a sweet tangerine tea and you want to slice up clean your orange first and put an orange in there, like slice it, like it's just a flavorful tea. But it gets you kicking and grooving in the morning. It start activating that fat and stuff when you get flush your own out.
I'm gonna have to try it. Do you have any recommendations? So I'm thinking maybe I'll like a fruit tea.
Um, you'll have to
Maybe
ask me.
citrus.
Citrus stuff is good. Peach is good. There's some
Okay.
peach ones. My wife, she took off on me. Like I introduced her to tea. She thought I was weird, but she started to drink it and actually took off on me. So she even had like this.
Really?
She recommends the dandelion tea in here. She even had dandelion tea because it helps. She said it helped her like balance her hormones and stuff. So
Really?
like teas have a bunch of good benefits.
I'm
So
gonna have to message her.
and then like at any cost, you just stick a lemon in there. No sweetener, but just like a lemon, just for like a flavor, or any like
Uh-huh.
orange or any fruit, and there you go.
Because I remember in college when she was working at Starbucks, there was some kind of passion lemonade tea or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember telling her, like, I don't like tea. And so she added more lemonade to it, so I could like the drink as a whole. So I'm gonna have to ask her about that because I'm telling you, I look at the teas, I'm like, ooh, this is so cool.
Yeah. So tea is how can I put it? Um, tea is like it's an easy medicine. So
Okay.
instead of pills, you can go to some teas which are made out of herbs. Like I think she used like maca root and stuff because she had like some women stuff going on, but it really has turned her around. So that's why,
I'm going to message her about that tonight.
yeah, it helps women. It helps us too as men, but yeah.
Okay.
All right. So next question was, do you have a good support system as far as like your spiritual religious journey? And if someone doesn't, where should they look?
So I'm going to say yes, I do. Um, I have a good group of people that hold me accountable, um, and keeping me, grounded in my word. Like I know Portia's always reminding me, like, well, this is not in God's will. So like, she's the first person I think about top because we were just talking about this last night. Um, if somebody, it's so hard because if somebody does not have this, they first have to figure out what it is they want, right? So if you know you are a Christian and that's what you're sticking to, then I would suggest your church, right? But if you just kind of out here, I would hate to say just go find somebody because it may not necessarily be the right counsel. So first you got to figure out what it is, that you're wanting help with. Like a Muslim needs to use another Muslim for accountability. um somebody who, you know how you have those people that are very Afrocentric, like they don't believe in religion, they don't like they don't need to come to me, because I ain't gonna be no good help. So I guess they need to find a person or people whose beliefs align, but it
Hmm.
also needs to be someone who has the same goal of getting better, because iron sharpens iron. So you don't want to latch on to somebody that can make you go backwards or bring you down, so to say.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's cool. I just know in this, she was like, a lot of the women end up helping the women. Um, in the circle, like learning some of the stuff. They have like a circle. They bring like little plates of fresh food and
The sacred,
pizza.
the sacred womb circle.
Yep. And
Yeah.
I just felt like that was dope because sometimes we always need some accountability partner to help us, navigate through this thing we know is life. So
I was looking at that today and thinking about, do we have that? I know it's easy to say that women don't get along, but I'm a part of a few groups, like therapy for Black girls, for example,
hmm
and I'm a part of that tribe, and so that's a place where people go and can get sound advice. Like folks have asked questions like, um, if I want to find myself, where do I begin? That kind of stuff. So it's definitely around. I saw that. I also saw in that particular area, they had like a little steps, I guess to say, or a ritual. Like they in her book, she was talking about how they started with a song, and she had the songs and stuff in here. Thought that was interesting. Now I don't know if I want to be doing all that. They did dances,
hmm
sat in the floor in a circle. But even when I think about ministries in church, like I'm a part of the women's ministry of my church, that's an example of a sacred room circle. So I think definitely women need a place where they can go and be with other like-minded women to deal with life, because it
Yeah,
is a lot going on.
I really liked hearing what she was like. She talked about men, and we can only support, even like with the womb circle. Like, I can't be in y'all womb circle, but I can only support it. And I can be like, hey, Ernice, or go ahead and do that. Like, if that's what you
Mm-hmm.
need, go ahead and do it. Like, if I'm talking about that's what you need, go ahead and do it. It's
Mm-hmm.
some stuff I can't help you with. Like, I don't know what to do downstairs of like if I have a
Mm-hmm.
daughter, I'm gonna have to be like, hey, if her mama wasn't there, I'm like, hey, can you help my daughter learn this? Cause
Mm-hmm.
so I really dig that. Um, Now at the end they started talking about time, and I had a question. It was, do you agree with the statement that time only repeats itself? I ain't gonna say only, or time repeats itself. It usually
History
is.
repeats itself. It's hard for me to say because I'm not gonna get 5:45 back.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get a 45 tomorrow. So that's why I don't think. But if she's talking along the lines of history, history definitely repeats itself.
Yeah, on that sense, I was kind of like, she was saying like time is of the essence. So I more so man, I lost my page. But I was getting what she was saying, like time is of the essence. She says it makes a statement that time moves in a circle. It's an ongoing and it never ends. So it's kind of, I'm like with you, it's kind of hard to wrap my mind around like, what do you mean? Because I can, like, we ain't about to get 614 back. 614
Mm-hmm.
about to leave us in a minute. Um, but she said the sacred clock keeps on ticking, so use your time with complete awareness and as much grace and mindfulness as possible to gain the power, clarity, wealth, and oneness in the spirit that comes in the fullness of time. So that kind of made me understand a little more. She's like, hey, your sacred clock. So if we die today, if you die today, like your clock's still ticking. If you believe in the afterlife, your clock's still ticking. It's just you're not here. So it's like, I think they made one statement in chapter 1, like every day is judgment day. And kind of like holds true to like, just remember like, time is of the essence, so make the best of it.
Every day, there's some value. You need to make the most out of the time that you're given,
Yep.
basically. I mean, and that's true. That is definitely true. Because if you think about it, and that even ties in mindfulness, like if you stay in this moment and make the best of this particular moment, I'm not saying being anxious about the future or being depressed about the past, but like literally in this moment, you can't help but make the best. Like the present is called a present because that's what it is. It's a gift. It's a present. And so I like that.
Dang, you just said something that she actually had. I ain't even highlighted, but I think she said like that same thing, like the present is the present. It's weird. It's weird. So last and final question, and we'll be wrapping it on up. Is
Okay.
there any time of the day that you feel is like difficult to navigate, like any hour? Like, is it any time? Like me, I'll go first. Me personally, it's always somewhere around. This is weird as crap, but it's always somewhere from the 11 to 1 o'clock span. I'm just stuck in limbo, and it's not like I'm not moving. Like, let's say, well, work is on pause right now, but I'm saying like that's where my mind starts to drift. Because when I wake up in the morning, I know, okay, you got to get up in the morning, get your routine. Things start to settle in about, I say 10 o'clock. But 11 to 1, I'm just like, okay, what's going on? Like, I want a nap. It's because I wake up pretty early. I'm usually like a 5 o'clock wake upper. So, I don't know. I'm just trying to see.
It's so hard to say because I've been home so long.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I was working, that 5 o'clock to bedtime hour was weird for me because I'm too tired to work anymore, but I'm too tired to do anything else. So I'm kind of just like at this idle, like too tired to watch TV, too tired. So I'm just there. When I think about now, today has been a busy day. So
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't had any downtime.
So usually, I'm gonna tell you, me, like I said, that 11 to 1, anywhere between 11 and 1, she has like a chart in here called like the sacred clock.
I saw that.
It says like the best time for total activity and productivity. A time for me personally, a time for regeneration. Well, this is the strongest part of the day. This is an excellent time to execute your ideas. And I feel like I don't capture that, and I should. But it says the food time of the day, she's recommended like organic fresh vegetable juice. And I'm like, you think about it, this
So
is
are these
lunchtime.
all the times that she's saying you need to eat and what you need to eat?
Yeah, some like little I don't get the last 3 columns to be honest, but yeah, it gives you like the state of consciousness, what time is it? But
Okay.
I feel like I mess up because most of the time, that food time of the day, I'm not eating the right food. So I'm not sparking my body to even think like, man, I'm probably eating a chicken sandwich, and like we said earlier, like that's doing
Mm-hmm.
damage. So maybe if I change what I'm eating, and I'm like, okay, it's 11 o'clock. Go ahead, drink your vegetable juice or eat an orange or apple or something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you said yours is like, what, around that 5 o'clock range?
Mm-hmm.
So technically, that kind of coincides. You can read it.
She said it's the time to be still and go within to reflect on what has happened. And that's what I be doing. That's so funny.
Yeah.
But the only thing about this is not realistic.
What you mean, like on an everyday basis?
As an educator,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much I have to do at home. So that 5 o'clock time, I probably really shouldn't be resting, but be grading papers or, doing something. And so, or like, I can't sit and eat at 9, 6 a.m., 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3, 4, that's a lot.
It's a lot. But it's about scheduling to how you like it. How can you fit it in?
Yeah.
Like
I
even if you was to
definitely
do
have learned that
mm,
before I go to bed, I do need to have that um reflection time, like to decompress, to meditate and pray, um, or I ain't gonna sleep good. So I mean, some of the stuff I can see, but I might can't do it as often as she's saying.
mm-hmm.
And I can't lie to you, Josh. I can't do no liquid meal and have a solid meal of some nuts and seeds. A girl needs some chicken.
You gotta make sure you do. I mean, you do what works for you, but this is just a little reference, so. Well, yeah, that's chapter 2. We are done with chapter 2.
Okay, so will this be? So is this every day until the book is finished?
Um, honestly, I did yesterday. I did today. What I may do for chapters 3 and 4
Mm-hmm.
is I'm gonna get a better schedule, but I'm probably gonna do 2 chapters at a time.
Okay.
So and spacing the days out because I know everybody can't come. Hypothetically, it's some people that's still working out there, so everybody can't come. So I'm trying to give
Mm-hmm.
people enough time. But yeah, I'm trying to move on through it because if everything start opening back up, we know people ain't gonna want to sit and be able to do this. So
I know. I'm so grateful for this time. I've always wanted to be in a book club. What's the
yeah,
next book? Look at me.
shoot, the next book I don't know. I just picked up reading. I picked up reading real good about last year, but
Yeah, I did too. I started with Michelle Obama's book,
mm-hmm.
and it just jump started me into just falling in love with just reading.
What was the one that jump started me, man? It was this one book by a guy named Jesse Brown, but he was talking about like finances. And
Okay.
it led me to like a book by Tyrese. I read his book and
Mm-hmm.
then I read the Wolf of Wall Street book and so yeah, I've been kicking and grooving.
Okay.
So yeah, well that's it. That's all we got for the meeting.
Thank you. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, everybody else probably got busy or something. Um,
Yeah, that's okay. I'll be waiting for them next time.
right. So I'm gonna put up the new schedule as far as like what we're gonna do. I ain't gonna do no meeting tomorrow. I might still put up the summaries, but probably not till like Friday or something. We'll do another meeting or something.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes. Is it fine if I put this on YouTube or no?
It's fine. Bye.
You sure you want me to crop your face? Or
It's okay. I ain't studying with this butt.
cool, say less.
I'm at
Cool.
home.
Well, that's it. Thank you for coming through. I'm gonna give you a shout out and hope to see you next time.
Yay! I'll be there. Thank you.
All righty, bye bye.
Bye.